Hey guys, what's going on? Steve Brown with Secondhand Horology, and I just wanted to say, what in the heck is in front of me, guys? Do you know? I'm going to tell you guys. I can't wait. We have actually been hiding this secret since July. Very excited to talk about it. As you may know, if you follow us on social media, our live streams, or perhaps you're a customer of ours, whether it's from our actual store or from our online, our website, our online presence, etc., you may know that we do sell brand new watches, we sell modern watches, but the one thing that we owe everything to, more than anything, is vintage watches. Vintage watches are what started me in this 22 years ago. It's what started my passion for watches. It's what really got Hennessy's hooked on watches as well, the history of things. And I think what's in front of me right now, guys, has a pretty interesting history. And speaking about history of watches, specifically American watches, the American greats, guys. A couple of names come to mind, and if you're into vintage watches, think the railroad watches, the iconic American watches that literally built this country, that are responsible for the standardization of time. Let's think about a couple of the names. Who do you have? What's the first name that comes to mind? Elgin. And rightfully so. They produced 58 million watches in the United States of America. That's a lot of watches, guys. Some people would say 64, but we're not talking about Elgin. Who else? Hampden Watch Company. Hampden Watch Company, without question, built some of the most iconic watches ever assembled in the world. Nice stuff, guys. Who else? Waltham. They're kind of an unsung hero in the watch world because they did build some fantastic watches right there in Massachusetts. However, another brand that comes to mind that in some ways I do feel is an unsung hero is Hampden Watch Company. And the reason I say an unsung hero, because I believe of some of their past with the Duber Case Company, there may be a little bit of confusion as to, is it a Duber, is it a Hampden? And the answer is, it's all of the above. Now, really interesting to me, the American Railroad watch was, without question, was held to one of the tightest standards of any watch when it comes to accuracy of timekeeping. Now, here's something that I did remember, but I should just say I knew, but I forgot, and then I remembered. The first 23 jewel American Railroad watch actually was produced by Hampden Watch Company. So where the heck have they been? Guys, this is a name that I don't even, what in the world? I've had some of their very beautiful watches, and if you'd like to get onto our website, there's one watch in particular we've had a couple of examples of. It's the, you probably have seen it before. It's the World War I trench watch. It has the crown off to the side right at about 2. That's an iconic watch by anybody's standards. So iconic that watch was actually, I believe in 1911 or 1912, was rated as the #1 gift for a young man. And that's incredible. And mostly it had to do with our soldiers going off to war. But Hampden Watch Company did some pretty amazing stuff. Contributed a lot to the world of horology, especially American watchmaking. Went through some financial issues in the 1920s after John Duber passed away. His son took over. Then the Great Depression hit. Bad timing on all of that stuff, right? They continued to build watches in the United States of America, and in the 1950s, that company changed hands. That company changed hands and was sold to the Wine family. It's actually purchased by a gentleman named Hyman Wine. You may have heard that name, may not have, but you should know the name. And the reason I say that, Hyman actually moved to the United States of America and founded Clinton Watch Company, which you probably know if you're into vintage American watches. They made some really cool stuff. Some iconic watches like the World Timer. They made some really cool divers. They made the diver, you may have heard the story. They made a diver that was actually packaged inside of a tube full of water, and this thing would actually get packaged at the factory and get shipped out to customers submersed in water. That's absolutely insane, and I can't think of a better marketing tactic than that. That was super cool. But that brings us to how are we here, and how are those two companies intertwined? Well, Hyman purchased Hampden Watch Company in the 1950s. They continued to build watches. They had a factory in the US Virgin Islands. They had a factory in Switzerland. They were producing movements, casing up watches, and selling them all across the United States of America and the world from Chicago, Illinois. Really cool stuff. They actually got kind of into the personalization field as well and started building inscribed watches. So the back of the case, you may have seen many examples of Union watches for Union people. That would be like a United Auto Workers watch, inscribed 25-year retirement gift, a presentation watch, a watch that was given as an award for a milestone at an organization or a civic club, whatever the case may be. That's what these guys really started focusing on. And during the quartz crisis, the retail side of things really started to slow down, but they really hit a niche. They were really doing quite well, doing the personalized work. I can't talk, sorry, the personalized watches, the engraved watches. Quartz crisis was a real thing. We lost a lot of fantastic companies. Look no further than the Swatch Group over in Switzerland and see how many companies underneath that umbrella. And I'm telling you, the only reason they absorbed so many brands was because of the quartz crisis. The same thing happened here in America. We lost Hampden Watch Company. What a tragedy, quite frankly. We lost these guys in a sense. They were building no watches for the public. We lost, to a degree, it's kind of a different story for a different time, Bulova. Things got a little bit weird there. We lost Waltham. But did these guys go away? No, they weren't. They were still operating in the shadows, as we talked about. They were building watches, and I can't tell you how many of these watches I've seen come through my shop, but like I just keep coming up to the Union watches, the watches that were personalized for milestones, 25-year anniversaries, 50-year rebirth, just crazy stuff. But something happened during COVID. The grandson of Hyman Wine, who was the founder, or I would say the last individual who purchased it, but the founder of Clinton Watch, his name is Joe. He's still around, so Joe Wine is around. And during COVID, as many of us found ourselves to be, we got bored and maybe put into situations where we started to think about things a little bit differently than we are used to. Started questioning life and existence and our company goals and things of that nature. And one thing popped into his mind. He wanted to start building watches again. The other thing that came into his mind was, if you're a man, there are very, very few gifts in this world that can be personalized and given to a man that he can wear with pride and show off and wear and enjoy. Unlike for women, you can engrave rings, you can engrave bracelets, necklaces, make nameplate necklaces, whatever the case may be. And he felt really that the market was severely underserved for men. And you know what? They still owned a watch company, and that company was Hampden Watch. One thing led to another. They started talking about reviving the brand, bringing it back to the public, but it had to be a great product. Not just one that was engravable. They already had that. They were already doing that. But they were going to relaunch this company. They had to do it in a way that made a lot of sense, both for the goal of having a watch that is engravable, doesn't need to be. It's a standalone, fantastic product on its own. So he started talking to his son, Danny. One thing led to another. They built this project, and here we are today. How did we get involved in this? Well, that's kind of an interesting story. We went to the Wind Up Watch Fair in Chicago in July of 2024. I knew the name. Of course I know the name. I'm a huge vintage watch freak. There's no way around that. I was talking to Hennessy's and I said, okay, what's going on? These other brands, we know these brands, but what is Hampden doing? Where are they? We've got to find them. And I said this, we have to find them. I mentioned it probably 5 or 6 times. I was so excited to see what in the world was going on with these guys. This old iconic brand that we just hadn't heard of or hadn't seen anything of in years. Check our website, secondhandhorology.com, to see some truly stunning examples of some of the iconic Hampdens from back in the day. But also, please do check out the website for these beauties. We are very, very pleased to announce this brand, but I jumped ahead in my story. So back to the Wind Up Watch Fair. We were looking around, saw various brands. We were talking to the guys at Christopher Ward. We were talking to the guys at Oris. Atlantic Watch Company. All of this was really great. Wonderful people, wonderful product. But we still hadn't seen Hampden. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw it. I said, Hennessy's, oh my gosh, right over there. We got to go. We had to go right now. Let's go. And we went, and Joe was talking to a gentleman, showing the gentleman their case back design, which is a patent. Joe holds the patent to it, or Hampden Watch holds the patent to it. We're going to talk about that in detail. It's mind-blowing, guys. Literally anybody who comes in the shop, watch guy or not a watch guy or gal, sees it and they're like, holy smokes, I've never seen anything like this before. And it's just so true. So I was talking to Joe. I saw Joe. He was talking to a guy. They got done with their conversation, and I said, excuse me, Hampden Watch Company? You got to tell me what the heck is going on. Tell me what's going on. This is your company? And he's like, absolutely. And one thing led to another. We just clicked like that instantly. I picked up on his idea for bringing back the heritage of his family, the heritage of the company, the spirit of American watchmaking. Really, really fun stuff, guys. And from there, the conversation that we had, the three of us had, was absolutely fantastic. And I turned to Hennessy afterwards and I said, that's it. I'm done. I've seen everything I needed to see at this show. Over. Ready to go. Because nothing's going to top that experience. How great it was to meet somebody that really did care about his family's legacy and did care about American watchmaking. And just my mind is blown, guys. So enough of looking at me, enough of me rambling. I'm going to keep talking, don't worry, because if you know me, you know I can talk about watches forever. But we're going to look at some of these beauties right here, guys. And I'm just trying to think, do I save what I consider to be the best for last? Or do I start off with it? Because it is such a fine watch. And that's not to say that any of them are bad, because they're fantastic. But my God, the Hampden Model 1 is a showstopper, guys. An absolute showstopper.
All right, guys, let's talk about all the models. This is the Hampden Model 1. Notice that's available in 3 colors, a blue, a black, and a white. It comes with 2 additional straps on that thing. That's a bargain in itself. That is super cool. Moving on, this is the Hampden Model 2. There are many different iterations of this particular model. Boy, if you can think of it, as far as case color, dial color, it exists. Both come with the Milanese mesh and comes with the leather strap. I love that they do that. This is the Hampden Model 3. This is what you would call a traditional diver watch. Coming in, boy, if memory serves, about 6 different color combos. Each also, again, leather waterproof strap with a metal bracelet. And now we're on to the Hampden Model 4. This is more of a what you would call a Bauhaus design, a post-modern, beautiful design, as you see in some of the German watches that are very popular right now. Guys, it's a very diverse model lineup. I love what they've done with it, and I think you will too. What I really like is that there's a little bit of something for everyone in this entire lineup. And then the Model 1 kind of just sums it up and brings it all together.
I told you this Model 1, this is a super, super exciting watch, and I told you there was going to be a magic trick. Maybe I didn't say magic trick, but I told you patented. What exactly is patented? Well, guys, now it is time for a magic trick. This beautiful watch, all Model 1s, do something that no other watch does, period. Ready for it, guys? Remember we were talking about personalization? How's this for personalization? You guys ready? Oh, wait. Oh, what's that? That's my case back to this watch. And you're saying, how is that your case back? I don't understand. That's a great question. That is a great question. Let's look at that. See that, guys? Do you see how that's elliptical? Do you see how all your watch's information is also down there? Like your serial number, your reference number, all of the fun stuff about the watch. Notice how that's elliptical. Notice how on this there are 2 little small divots right there. That's because there are spring-loaded BBs, ball bearings, on the back of this. Now watch, guys. Ready? So we're talking about personalization. Doesn't get more personalized than that. Now that case back is locked in place. That whole process, by the way, I've done this a lot. 9 seconds. It takes me 9 seconds to change that. And look at that beauty. And it's not going anywhere. That is solid, guys. How about that? So if you're looking for something that's truly revolutionary, that's it, guys. That's a beautiful watch. And we're going to go deeper on this watch. There's a lot of hidden details on this watch. But for now,
that's it. Hope you've enjoyed, because man, that is freaking cool, guys.
So guys, as you can see, we have very, very good reason to be excited about this brand, and we hope that you are as excited about this brand as we are, and the guys at Hampden Watch are too. So we are also proud to be the first fully stocked licensed dealer with Hampden Watch. So if you're in the Rockford, Illinois metro area, stop on in, come check out these watches, see what you think for yourself. And if you're not, hop on the secondhandhorology.com, check everything out on there. Follow us on social media. Everything is at Secondhand Horology. Guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned because we're going to do a deep dive on every single model, so there will be follow-up videos. Thanks for watching, guys.